Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar, A Day in the Life of a Warehouse Manager. So today we're going to be exploring a couple of quick tips of how a warehouse manager can track inventory, see what projects are coming up, use the Google Calendar integration even to see a bit more detail about their projects. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few quick tips. If you have any questions as we're going along, folks, please feel free to enter them into the chat. I'll either address them as we're going along in the session today, or maybe after we get the recording finished, I'll stick around for another few minutes to answer any other questions that anyone has as we go along. So to get started, as a warehouse manager, you might want to start your day looking at the dashboard of your projects. This way you'll be able to see all the projects that your team has created that are coming up within a given period. So the next 14 days, 30, 45, etc. You could also filter down by sales office so that if you are specifically responsible for one of the locations of your business, you can filter down to show me the projects assigned to this sales office or that sales office, and so on. Moving along here, of course, we can see unread conversations and tasks. This is a great way for you to keep on top of your team's communication, what they've got coming up, any messages that came in overnight, or any tasks that the sales team has assigned to yourself or another member of or you created for another member of your warehouse crew. Moving along toward the bottom here, as a warehouse manager, you probably want to know what subrentals you've got coming up and which projects they are for. So you can go and go and collect these items or go and assign someone to go and collect these items. So for example, in the next 14 days, I can see I've got a subrental on this specific project as well as on this specific project here at the bottom. As you can tell, this is my test environment, so it looks like Jason's getting married to both to Joanna and to Stella. So, but as an example, you can see the project status is here, as well as the name, and click into the project with a single click right here. If we scroll down a little bit more, we can see the upcoming conflicts. So again, this is letting you know all the details you may need so you and your warehouse crew can tackle these conflicts, can address them in any way, marking them as a subrental, going out and buying more. Or if you just want to know which one of your projects are being overbooked, so maybe next week we go and we get more, or we go ahead and we remove them from our inventory. This is a way you'll be able to see all the projects that have conflicts with these specific items and how many are needed during this specific time. So for example, I only have 5 available of this inventory item, but I'm overbooked 70. I've got 72 booked during this time. That is what's causing all these conflicts. So again, giving me quick insight into which projects are generating these conflicts and when specifically. We could, of course, expand these dates to the next 30, 3 months, 6, 12 months, and so forth, but you might want to know just what's coming up in the next couple weeks. Moving along to our inventory tab here, this is where we can see quickly what's going out within a specific range. I'm going to show you a few different options to get this information, but right from within CodeShuffle Pro, we can sort by date. So we could say for this entire week, show me everything that's going out. So when I put those date filters in, I can see how many we've got in stock, how many we've posted, how many we've got marked as set aside, how many we currently have available, and how many are max needed, the maximum amount that are needed, at one time during this time period. So for example, I can see none of these are going out during this time, but I can see I've got 97 going out of this white plastic tent. So that is going to create a whole bunch of conflicts during this time. And as well as I can see 4 of these are going out. That's fine. That's not going to generate a conflict. And so I know we're all set for those items. We could, of course, get more details if you want to know specifically, show me in this time frame, show me all of the chairs we have going out. So easily we can go into our furniture here and then seating and chairs. I can see everything that's going out within this category. What's best is we could also filter down by specific type. So show me all of our wood items that are going out within this period. Look at that. I can see we've got 25 max needed of these folding wood chairs. We could, of course, filter down by other other attributes, I should say, dimensions, color, type, all that, shelf location, all that good stuff can be added in as attributes. So for example, I can say, show me everything that's going out in this time period in shelf A. It doesn't look like we have any going out from this shelf, also from like warehouse location, or if you track your inventory by perhaps specific coordinates like shelf B, row 3. We can go ahead and add those in like B1, so row B, shelf 1, row B, shelf 2, row B, shelf 3. We can see all of these items tagged with those locations. If I scroll down just a bit more, I can see all the set-asides we have loaded into our inventory. I'm just going to clear these date filters right now with a quick refresh. I could also clear the dates just by clicking clear dates just to the right. But if I go into my products once again, into our set-asides, we can see all the items that have been marked as set-asides across our entire account, I should say. So set-asides, just to put it simply, are anything that needs to be repaired, refurbished, replaced, things that were broken or didn't even make it back to the event, things that went missing, can all be marked as set-asides. So that, let's say if I've got these extension cables, I've got one set-aside marked, but if we look in the back of the truck or it fell between some of the seats, we can add that quickly back into our inventory by resolving the set-aside by saying we're adding it back into our inventory, one of those, and saving the adjustment. This is also how you can create more set-asides, or say, you know what, these 13-foot cables, those are gone forever. We are never getting those back. We can resolve the set-asides here by selecting Remove from Inventory. We can also create additional set-asides right from here within this set-aside section. So if we need to add any more, click these three dots, create set-aside, and then we can create the additional set-asides that may have happened and what notes are why it went missing, what happened during the event, and so forth. So that if we click into the item, click into set-asides, we can see, this was broken during this event. This item was broken, a kid ran through it and it needs repair. And we can also see when items have been returned to inventory, which is great. So we can create sort of a log or a record of when things have come back and when things have been removed from our inventory. Next tip I would like to give you is just to see which of your projects have a open or closed fulfillment status. So this way you can see how your other members of your warehouse crew are dealing with checking items in or even moving through the pull sheet for your orders. So I'm going to move pull sheet up here as well as fulfillment status and update those columns. So let's say in the next 30 days, let's say, show me all my projects. So I can see for in our signed projects, we've only got one project that has been fully marked as pulled, prepped, and loaded. So that's telling me my team need to check in on these other two projects. Do we have the items? Have they been loaded onto the truck? What is happening with these projects? We can also see that we've got the fulfillment status still marked as open on this project. That's fine. We still may be receiving items back in. But if you're looking at your projects that have been completed for months and months and months, if you're seeing the project is still marked as open, the fulfillment status, is still marked as open, you might want to check in with your team, see if they've actually gone through and marked all these items as received back in. Just to put it another way, marking the fulfillment status as closed is the best way for your team to communicate with the rest of your team that no further action is required on the inventory side for this product. All the items have been checked back in. We've marked any damages. No further action is required. So once we've done that, checked what we've got coming up in terms of our projects that are coming up here in the project list, we can quickly select all of these projects, select to bulk download our aggregate pull sheet. So that's going to pull one pull sheet for all the projects in this time frame. So I'm going to see one list and all the projects that are needed for this project. So I'll let that come through and we'll take a look into that in just a second. We can also select to print off, of course, all of the pull sheets for these projects, all of the schedules, all of the receipts of goods and services, so that you as a warehouse manager can divvy those documents out to whoever needs them for their jobs. So it looks like that document just came through. I'm just going to pause my screen share for a hot second and pull that document up for us. There we go. So here's where we can see the aggregate pull sheet. So this way I can see all the items needed for all those projects. And if I scroll down toward the bottom of the screen, I can see any custom items are marked here, any sub-rentals, as well as which specific projects this pull sheet is generating from. Once we've got this document, something else we could do to see what's going in, what's coming out, what do we have to be prepared for with our orders, is we can move into our Google Calendar integration. And I love this because it's going to allow you to see crystal clear what's coming in, what's going out. And you can even filter down by specific project status. So for example, as a warehouse manager, you may only be interested in seeing your signed projects. And I'm noticing we've got a couple more people in the room with us. Welcome. We are recording this event, so if you've missed the first bit, no worries. We will be sending out the recording either tomorrow, or we'll be adding it to the webinar archive as soon as the processing has finished. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. We're just taking a look at the Google Calendar integration right now and how the warehouse manager can quickly see what's coming in, what's going out, and when these pickups and drops off are happening. So for example, if I want to look on the week of the 16th, I know this may not be the right month, but just to give you an example of how we could see these events in here, we could take a look. I can see the name of the project, I can see the venue, all of the contact information here, what items are needed. All the details are in here. The notes are also going to be included in here as well. The logistics as well. And this is where I can quickly access the pull sheets. Pull sheet both by item category and item group, the schedule for this event, the receipt of goods and services. So this is a huge win for your delivery crews, so they can have these events on their calendar and then quickly pop open the receipt of goods and services with a quick click link, so they can easily print that off on their end and get a signature from the client for the receipt of goods and services. Excellent. We could also take a look at any of the upcoming projects from the Fulfillment tab. So this is great if you want to make sure that your team has gone in on the back end and added any additional items, added any pieces that you now need to go along with the order. So let's say for this project, Jason's wedding to Joanna, we can come in here to the Fulfillment tab. And this way we can see all of the items that are added to the project from the backend. So this is where we can mark any sub-rentals for any conflicts. And also we can take a look to see, yep, okay, we're bringing this tent. I can see my team has correctly added in the poles, the stakes, the tensioners, all that looks good. If I see anything that we need to bring along to build this package that hasn't been added to the order, easy as pie, just click these three dots on one of these items here, and we can add an inventory item to this package. There we go. So we can add either a custom item, or we can add an item from our inventory to help build out this item. So if you need to add in any other items like this perimeter, we can add that in here, and that'll be added to the project. Excellent. If you folks have any questions, go ahead and let us know in the chat. We can also go ahead and just add items, custom items to this line item group. Like if we need to bring a dolly or some tools, we could say, we need to bring a dolly in here. There we go. And now that's going to show up on our pull sheets. We can add any notes into these items like, careful, it's fragile, and so on. We can also come and take a look into the pull sheet, and what's great is if we come into the logs here, we can see exactly which one of our team has marked these items as pulled, prepped, or loaded from the log. So imagine being able to know exactly who's taken what action on your projects at the specific time. So I love the logs so that we can keep on top of those projects. While we're in this project, we can, of course, print the documents, assign tasks, and communicate with our team from the Messages tab. So those are a few quick tips on how a warehouse manager can make their most out of their day here in Good Shuffle Pro. I'd like to thank you all for joining me here today. We'll have the recording ready and available in our webinar archive by the end of the day today or by early tomorrow. If you have any questions, please let us know in the chat. I'll stick around for another few minutes to answer any questions anyone may have, and we look forward to seeing you next week during our weekly webinar. We'll be sending out a survey either later on this week or early next week just to find out what other topics would interest you in our webinars, and also if there's a better time of day to have these webinars. We want to make sure we're maximizing our reach and hitting the most interesting topics and most salient points for you and your business. So go ahead and let us know in the chat if you have any other questions, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.